Hello and welcome to another episode of the Workplace Podcast with Nelson Dominic. We're considering a series on leadership, and in our last episode, we talked about managing self as the first step to leadership, where we highlighted a few key points for people who are either in leadership positions or aspiring to be a leader someday, one day, on how to manage self towards their journey on leadership. I'd advise that you go back to that episode to understand, to get a better grasp of this conversation. In our episode today, we'll be talking about managing others, which is where people think should always be the first. Oh, I'm a leader. Oh, I have this title, so I have people I'm managing, I have people I'm leading, right? And as much as it may seem easy because you have a title, managing others is something that requires a lot of work if you want to be an efficient and effective leader. And so in this conversation, we'll be attempting to talk about how to better position you as a leader to manage others. Now, managing others is a critical aspect of leadership. It involves guiding and inspiring a team towards achieving a common objective while also fostering a positive and productive work environment. Now, key points for us to take note there. It is not just about driving for some key objectives. It is while you're driving towards those objectives, you're also fostering a positive, productive work environment for people you work with, for people you work for, to see that you have the right relationship and then you're managing people effectively. Below, I say to people that they are not mutually exclusive, right? You cannot say, oh, I'm only dealing for results. I care about results. I do not care about the work environment. I don't care about how I make people feel. That's not leadership. Leadership is, I care about the results. We're all going towards this goal. However, I want to see that as a leader, I'm creating the right environment, the right structure, the right system to see you succeed. When those when those two factors are in place, then we can say that yes, you're on your journey or you are getting a grasp of what leadership is when it comes to managing others. I'm going to talk about a few points, that should be clear to you and for you when you're leading others. So number one is a clear vision and goals. Just like managing yourself. In managing others, you also need a clear vision and a clear goal, right? As a leader, it is important to establish a clear vision, not just establishing, but communicating well to your team on what the vision is, ensuring that every member of your team understand your vision, your objective. Now, everyone understand what the purpose is, what the direction is, what our goal is. This clarity helps to align all of the efforts, bring them together, and ensure that everyone is working towards the same objective. Where there's no clarity of purpose, where there's no clarity of goal, where everybody works in silos, where everybody just do what they feel is the best to do in your team, is not a good example of you being able to manage your team. And so in managing your team, managing others, it is you first understanding the goal and communicating the goal so everybody's effort is in that direction. Everybody's aligned towards achieving the goal and achieving the same objective. Number two is empowerment and delegation. How well do you empower people? Do people in your team feel like they're empowered to get things done? Do they feel like you trust them to get things? Trust is the end. We hear that all the time. But, as a leader, you holding on to authority, holding on to power, holding on to functions will not make you a better leader. And so how do you empower people and how do you delegate? Now trusting your team to your team members and empowering them to take ownership of their work is also an important factor. Making them understand that you own this process, own it end to end. I'm only here to support you. Where do you need to take away the roadblock from you? Not delegating and then still getting in their way of getting the job done. Delegating, coming out of the way for them to get it done. Now, based on whatever your strength is, another thing you want to ask yourself is, have I looked at my team members to understand where their strength lies? Within my team, I have 2-3 people in my team who is better positioned to take up this task based on their strengths. Who is better positioned not to touch this task based on their weaknesses, right? Understanding your team members also will help you when you are delegating duties within your team. Now, when team members are trusted and empowered, they are more engaged and they are motivated to excel. Number three is effective communication. We cannot overemphasize this. Open and transparent communication is crucial for successful leadership. Be approachable. Don't just say, oh, my door is open. Is your door really open? Be approachable. Actively listen to your team and encourage open dialogue. Do not silence your team members. Do not quiet them. Actively listening to your team, ensuring that you are approachable and you encourage open dialogue. You also share regular updates, provide feedback, and address concerns promptly. An employer has come to raise an issue with you, your team member has raised a concern with you, and for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you have not attended to it, you have not addressed it, you're only setting your team up for failure. And so addressing issues promptly is one thing in trying to build effective communication towards managing others. Providing timely feedback, constructive feedback, both the good and the bad. Do not be the manager who will only give terrible feedbacks or bad feedback when an employee has not done well. How well do you also give great feedback when an employee has done great? So providing timely feedback and sharing regular updates is a key part to effective communication in managing others. Another thing is leading by example. Now set the standard for the behavior and work ethics that you expect from your team member and demonstrate it. You don't expect your team members to be seated by 8 a.m. and by 9 a.m. you just straight into the office. No, it is not acceptable. You do not expect your team members to respond to email before 8 a.m. and you don't even respond to emails until 10 p.m. No, not acceptable. And so you're setting standard of behavior and work ethic you want to see, and then you are living by it, you are demonstrating it. Now, when you demonstrate these things, these values and ethic that you want your team members to build, it is easy for all of them to just come into it and flow with it, rather than you dictating and not leading by the example. Now, demonstrating those values and principles you want to see your team members is what will give them a cue, and they will take a cue from your action, and that would also help you in building a solid and formidable team. Now, support and development. Now, invest in your team's growth and development. Be a coach, be a mentor, be a friend. Ensure that you're supporting and developing your team, right? This is one key aspect towards making you a better leader in managing others. Invest in team building. Now, a well-developed team is more capable of handling challenges and contributing to the organization's success. Now, most leaders will say, my organization does not have a budget for learning. How about you as a manager set that pace? Learning doesn't have to do doesn't need to do with money all the time, right? But setting the pace towards development, such as one-on-one conversations, mentorship, providing links to some free online courses, right? Giving projects and on-the-job responsibilities for people to be able to work and learn will help people towards their growth. And so, how exactly are you doing that as a leader in supporting and managing your team? Again, recognition and appreciation. Now, acknowledge and appreciate the effort of your team, the small wins, the big wins. Recognizing their hard work boosts their morale and fosters a positive work culture. Do not be that manager who will take the win of the team without sharing the win with every member of the team. Do not be that manager who gives tasks for people to do and then you go present the result without acknowledging a team member who have done it for you or who has worked on that project with you. Be that team member who recognize and appreciate the effort of your team members. In that you are building and fostering a peaceful environment. Now, another aspect is conflict resolution, right? Address conflict within the team proactively and constructively, right? Encourage open discussion to resolve conflict and promote a smooth working environment. Do not leave room for conflict. Do not leave room for issues to stay over a long period of time. Address them proactively and constructively in a bid to build a peaceful work environment. Again, performance management. This is very, very important. Set clear performance expectations and provide regular feedback. I advise weekly one-on-one. Sit with each member of your team at least for 30 minutes in a week to look at where are they on their performance on the goals you have set. What feedback do they have for you? What feedback do you have for them? What roadblock do they need to take out of the way for them so they can focus on their goals? That is very important in managing others. Again, flexibility and adaptability. Be adaptable to change yourself, right? And encourage your team members to do the same. Be flexible. Your opinion can change when there's a superior argument. Do not be that person who wants to hold on only to his opinion, only to his own idea. When you are faced with a superior argument, you should be able to bow to that superior argument in a way to foster and build a solid team. Respect and inclusivity. How inclusive are you as a manager? Now, treat all members with respect and create an inclusive environment where diverse perspectives are valued. Now, embrace diversity and foster a culture of equality and fairness among all members of the team. Remember that each team is unique And effective leadership involves adapting your approach to suit the specific needs of your team. You are managing team A in year 1, year 2, you have been moved to another team. Remember that in that new team you are going to manage, each team is unique, and you must switch your approach to suit the specific needs and dynamic of the individuals and the group of people that you get to work with as a leader, as a manager. Now, by building strong relationship, by encouraging growth and supporting your team members, you are better equipped to achieve success together, even as a team. Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope you got more value than expected. If you have any question, comment, or suggestion, please reach out to us. I'll be more than available to help you and to provide clarity. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram as The Workplace Podcast with Nelson Dominic. Also, please tune in to listen to our several episodes on all our audio streaming platforms as well as on YouTube. This is The Workplace Podcast with Nelson Dominic, navigating the workplace one episode at a time.